we are towards the end of the game. There are a couple of missions that I want to I want to do. I think this crossroad mission is okay. We'll bring Chris, Jill, and no, you know what? So the first thing I need to do, I need to sacrifice Bella for Jill. Jill. I think. Yep. 465 damage and critical damage plus 40%. Sure. That's okay. That's gonna make Jill ridiculously powerful.
I feel her light grows stronger.
So let's go to the cemetery and resurrect Bella. Yes.
Remember their
So
courage.
there are a couple of things we want to put on Bella to make sure that okay, the first thing I need to do is this. Retreat. Grant a unit 800 armor. 800 armor. Okay. Holy crap, that is a lot. Yeah, lightning strike. %15 more damage. That's also pretty good. Pounce. Target acts 25 initiative units later. Oh, that's so good. Some of these are really useful. Immobilize target for 50 initiative units. Yeah, you know what? This is, I don't know what to put on her. I mean, the slash and menacing stance does enough damage, so I'm not particularly interested in putting anything else on it. Like, maybe just increase the damage. Something like Sever, increase the damage of a skill by 25%. Do we have increased the damage of a skill by, extinguished? Lightning strike. Well, first things first. We need this one. Target acts 25 initiative units later. That's important. 800 armor. I think 600 armor is enough. 800 armor is totally not necessary. Yeah, I don't think it's necessary. And then I'll want to equip a few things in Geo Spirit Burst. Resistance initiative delay would be nice. But we have that on Ada, right? Yeah, we have resistance initiative delay on Ada, so it's probably okay to not use it. Then we put on menacing. I think menacing stance is no need. The regular slash just does a lot more damage. Critical chance, decreased target armor. I wish you can filter by like how many memories we have that cost 100 AP, how many that doesn't. Target movement, critical chance. I think this is probably the best. Yeah, we'll just do this hunt mission. It's in the crossroads, so we'll bring no. Joe, Chris, and Bella, Ada, Scythe Dancer. We could bring the Scythe Dancer. Like, what we can do is basically, if we fail this mission, we could just advance to the next day. I don't know if the Scythe Dancer is a good choice. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like she's a good choice. I feel like Chris, Joe. I could use Bella. The Scythe Dancer, if I use a Scythe Dancer, I'll be able to get her to level 11. Yeah, that'd be pretty useful. But I really don't think she will be that useful. I think Helena will be more useful. Or even Ada. I mean, Painslinger and Infested. If things go south, we can just run. Bella is also okay to bring. But I don't want Bella to take any damage. But everybody else is okay if they take a bit of damage. Helena is okay as well. You know what? Maybe I'll just... What I'll do is I'll get Helena. And I think I'm going to use Shield Charge. Giant Leap is cool. Giant Leap is really cool. Yeah, I don't know. I think Shield Charge. Shield Charge is such a useful skill. And especially in this kind of hunt mission, yeah, you want a Shield Charge. Chris, Jill, and Helena. I could bring Peace. Peace might be a better choice because, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, we can just run away. And if we fail this, we can bring Bella, Ada, and Peace. And if we still fail, we just advance to the next day. So hunt missions are generally the best to do because you can run away from them. So what you can do is you can bring a weaker team to a hunt mission. If things go south or west, what you do is you just run away.
In this place, little one.
Yeah. So you just go, goodbye. GG guys. It's time for me to bail. That's what you do. Need to make sure we're not inside their attack range. That's gonna be a real nasty. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you know what? I ain't gonna go too far. But we're gonna go just far enough. Because I'm scared of these guys. They do a ton of damage. Like a ton of damage. I'm worried about that infested. I'm really worried about that infested, actually. That's the real enemy. That's the only enemy that I'm really, really scared of. You know what? You can park here, can't you? Nobody will be able to shoot you, right? Yep, I'm just outside the attack range, which is good. Good, good. He buffed the wrong enemy, which is really, really good, because that didn't do anything. Sure. Infested goes first. Always. Oh, okay. Geo does a ton of damage.
Impressive.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't shoot us. Like, with the infested didn't shoot us, which I thought was a bit interesting. Yeah, sure. You just go there. Helena, you just go there. Go strike. Yeah, sure. Go strike here. Initiative delay. Lightning strike back. Maybe I lightning strike somewhere else. I can't lightning strike somewhere else. I can only lightning strike here. It puts a lot of pressure on Jill. Yeah, it's not good. It puts a lot of pressure on Jill, and Jill won't be able to do anything. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, I think I have to defeat them. Even if I have to go to burst, it's okay.
Impressive.
And I can just run if things go south.
Flawless.
Oh, that did a lot of damage. I should be able to interrupt that, right? Yeah. I don't want to go into burst again.
Will the poor one's suffering never end?
Okay, he just does this, which is less of an issue, I guess.
You will stay with us forever.
I mean, he can't. This lady can't interrupt range attacks, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I didn't really need to use saving grace there, but I figured, what about if she goes to she does a regular slash, right? What about if she hits me with a regular attack? Then I'm gonna get killed. So no, yeah, I wasn't gonna gamble that. That was too risky of a gamble. Sorry, I'm just adjusting the position of my microphone. Yeah, so just adjusting the position of my mic.
My daughters. What has suffering done?
I can't get to them with shield charge. It's okay. Yeah, I am a little bit concerned about these two enemies. They are very strong, so.
Stay with us forever.
Okay, now I'm less worried. Yeah, okay, Jill can use a protected force, right? Protected force, not really, but... You know what? Nah. Just in case. What about if I mess up the protected force, you know? They get shot somewhere else? Alright, okay, Jill, you do... Yeah, sure. That's how much damage you're supposed to do. That's right.
I revel in her strength.
We'll park Helena here. Just armor buff. Yeah, the infested won't be able to get through 468 armor. No way. No matter what his attack's gonna be. Sure. Yeah, even if she does get buffed, there's nothing she can do.
Flesh is its canvas.
I didn't need that armor buff, did I? I didn't need it. But just in case, you never know. You never know when you need it, so sure, let's park ourselves here.
Will the poor one's suffering never end?
Like, shield charge should be able to do this without any problem. Well, I should be able to use shield charge to take down that infested. Another infested? Sure. Yeah, Ghost Strike. Initiative delay. And then we will use Lightning Strike here. Initiative delay.
Shred them down. Shatter them.
Is it gone for good?
Okay, now you hide behind Chris. Yeah. I just don't want that infested to hit me. Yeah, that infested won't be able to buff up, yeah, it doesn't matter. Even if he does buff up the Scythe Dancer, there's nothing, he won't be able to buff her up the timeline quick enough. So I should be able to shield charge here, right? Shield charge, initiative delay. I'm just thinking. Or I can shield charge down here. Yeah, that might be the better idea. Back of the timeline, sir. Ghost Strike. Initiative delay. That's why I like initiative delay memories. Just so good. Yep. 194, because the armor that it has, like she has armor, but as soon as I quit, I do just epic amount of damage. Alright, GG. Alright, yeah, that's some ridiculous amount of critical damage. I guess the actual damage adds 465, so it's not 465 damage, but the crit damage that she does is insane. The crit damage that Joe does.
Fulfilling our purpose. Another threat
Yeah,
has
is
come to an
pretty
end.
much insane.
This time.
The only mission I can do is maybe the penance mission. No, I don't want to do the penance mission. I do not want to do the penance mission, and I do not want to do this hunt mission. Like, I could do it and then just run. But I really don't want to do that. Yeah, I really don't want to do that. I think I'll just advance to the next day and try to face the final boss.
Our fate is not to suffer, but to face it.
I agree, lady. Alright, let's have a look. So, who will be bring? Ada, Bella, Chris, and I could bring the Scythe Dancer. I could do that. I'm not sure I should. Yeah, so there's a couple of possibilities of who we can bring. So Bella is obvious. Then we can Ada is obvious, Clement's obvious, and Jill. Now we end up having Chris. I don't think I'll bring either Cindy or Peace. It's gonna be either Cindy or Peace. I'm not sure. I have to make a decision later and think about it. Yeah, it's either going to be Cindy or Peace. I don't know who it's going to be. But before we finish, let's go through the Codex. So we only have the Hopebreaker to look at. Hopebreaker. The Hopebreaker is an evolution of the corrupted daughters who can quickly close distance and has an exploding range attack and an interruption that can save her allies. She will focus the closest daughter. I'm your nemesis, dear sisters. Fear me, as I serve a new master now, and he desires your lives. Let us nourish his glorious destiny together. Yeah. The Hopebreaker looks so creepy with her mask. It's like the Hopebreaker is like a daughter that's been corrupted by the Ravengers. It's like they've been corrupted by the Ravengers. It's like the Ravengers has attached themselves on a daughter's face. Look at the Ravengers mask. And look at the Hopebreaker's mask. Yeah, they are very dangerous enemies because they have range attacks, interruption skill. They are a mixture of corrupted Hate Dancer, Painslinger, Guildbearer, and Grief Master. They're sort of a mixture of all these, all the daughters. Yeah, they have skills from each of the daughters. So these two things are the final boss, obviously, because we haven't seen them yet. Just in case you guys missed everything, I'm just gonna put this on the screen so you guys can read it yourself. Okay, so you can pause it and read it. Yeah, you guys can pause it and read this if you really want to. Oh, I haven't read this. Scythe Dancer. The Scythe Dancer specializes in destroying armor and gets stronger and stronger during the battle. Your anger is ours now. Avenge those who have been slaughtered. Become the reaper of the unpunished executioners. I appeal to ultimate violence. In the name of justice, the mother. The Scythe Dancer, as it's written, becomes stronger and stronger as the battle goes on, and she makes her enemy weaker and weaker. She's a very formidable daughter to use, but you have to use her correctly. I wish they made her scythe a little bit smaller so I can see the writing. Alright, let's continue with these enemies. These enemy characters. So again, I'll just stay on the screen for 1 or 2 seconds and you guys can read it. Pause the video and read it. Alright, now we are up to the corrupted daughters. Yeah, the maid has a really sad story because she's the only person that is nice, that took care of the child while he's being locked up in the cellar by the deacon and experimented on by the surgeon. So she was the one that saved him, and she was going to run away with the child, but the deacon caught her and locked her away in with the child, and she became infected by the plague because the child carried the plague, so he was contagious. So he infected her, and she died from the plague. It's a very sad story. So, alright, so that's all the characters. There are 2 missing. These are the final bosses, so we will look at them later. Let's go to the memories. We will not activate any remembrance. So we have a lot of remembrance. You guys can have a quick look. We are not going to activate any remembrance. Anyway, you can't use remembrance in the first recollection anyway. So I just show you guys there are options to do that. In the second recollection, you can activate these memories. Now, once you activate the memory, it doesn't mean you automatically get it in a recollection. You have to activate the memory. Then what you have to do is equip it after you finish the first recollection. So you can equip these memories to get, better, basically become more powerful. Right, so we're not going to activate any memories. I just want to show you guys there's a lot of memory. There's a lot of memories. So that memories do make your character a lot stronger, so they will become more and more powerful. There are a lot of buffs, like starting the run with 1 very powerful memory, reduce vitae cost for equipping memories, memory drops increase, all daughters have more health, etc., etc. You can get a lot of powerful remembrance. Sorry, I didn't mean memories. I'm talking about remembrance. You can activate remembrance. Just because you activate it doesn't mean you automatically equip the remembrance. When you start the second recollection or the third recollection, you can equip remembrances. Once you activate it, it's activated forever. So just remember that. And you can equip that for second and third recollection. We are not going to activate any remembrance because you can't use it during the first recollection anyway, even if you activate it. Because after you finish the recollection, you have to equip the memory in order to activate it. Oh, sorry, not equip the memory, equip the remembrance. So you have to equip the remembrance, then it will be active during your run. So first you have to activate it, second you have to equip it after you finish your first recollection. During the beginning of the second recollection, you can equip any remembrance that you want. So you need to first activate it, and it causes shards. Okay, so it's impossible to do that because in the first recollection you get 0 shards. You can probably activate the first remembrance, but the remainder remembrance you cannot activate until your second and third recollection. Once you get to the second recollection, see, if we decide to go to our we are not going to do that, but let's just go out. If we are next recollection, you can see we can get 1,400 shards. So we can use that in the next recollection to activate all the remembrance, or a lot of remembrance, and then we become really, really powerful.
Remember.
Okay, so we are not going to activate any remembrance. This run will not have, I will not use any remembrance. As I said, you can't use it on your first recollection anyway, because you need to equip. Once you activate, you still need to equip it. And you can only equip that after you finish your first recollection, I think. Then you can, what do you call it? Then you can equip these. Okay? So these are the remembrance. I'm not going to scroll down to look at them all, but you can just see there are a lot of them. Okay? So now let's go to the memory and events. Now, before you remember, the picture was difficult to see, but now you can see the picture more clearly. The events, we go through quickly. Adrenaline. All damage is increased by 20%. In a fit of pain and despair, the child lashes out against one of his doctors. Feast. All enemies gain a 30% increase to her health, but at the cost of minus 100% reduction to their armor. The child's only friend slips him food through the bars on his door. And also artistry. All base armor is increased by 15%. The child spent sleepless nights molding tiny figures out of clay, finding solace in his creation. Light. Movement range of all daughters increased by 2. All damage is increased by 20%. Having found a friend, the child now feared their bond being discovered. There are a lot of events that not covered. You only get a certain number of events during every recollection, even if you play to the end. Once you do more recollections, you will get more events. Pact. All units will begin their turn minus 20 initiative points sooner after ending their turn. Swearing revenge. The child forms a union with a powerful entity. Lullaby. Movement range of all daughters is increased by 1. All damage is increased by 30%. A soothing melody seeps through the wall. A soothing melody seeping through the walls finally lured the child to sleep. Yeah, so that's a maid singing, obviously.
Remember.
Alright, I didn't mean to do that. Anyway, so sometimes I press R1 instead of R2, which is what I should have pressed. Yeah, so I should have pressed R2. Okay, let's go through these memories. So each memory you unlock, so you obtain from the enemies. Sometimes you have to defeat bosses to unlock memories, and these memories unlock a story. It's part of the lore. So this story is obviously talking about the mother, because you can see a girl with yellow eyes, and that's the mother. You can see the mother with yellow eyes as well. All the daughters have yellow eyes as well. So, but likely this is the mother, because it says I've lived for hundreds of years.
Remember.
Okay, I'm sorry, I did that again. What I meant to do is press R2. I gotta remember. Press R2, press R2. Alright,
Remember.
okay, press R2. Alright, there we go. It's very easy to press R1. I constantly do it all the time. So it goes to remembrance rather than the memories. So anyway, let's go through them. I will read them out one at a time because I haven't read through these myself as well. Some of them I have read through, but not many. Disquiet. So this is a memory you obtain from defeating the first boss. Grant a unit 400 armor that lasts 30 initiative units. Chapter 1, page 1. Age of Shattering, 1214. Is there something on your mind, dear? The way you chewing on your lips makes me worry you will bite straight through. Mama's voice is light-hearted, but I can still hear the ting of worry. Her gaze makes me give in, and I tell her about the voices. The way her expression changed, if only for a fleeting moment, convinced me to never speak of it again. Treasure. The target acts 15 initiative units sooner. Probably one of the best memories to equip on Spirit Haste and Spirit Burst. Chapter 1, page 2. Age of Shattering, 1215. Today my eldest brother bought me a gift. In his excitement to show me, he rushed straight into the house, tracking mud all over the floor. Even with Mama scolding him, he couldn't stop grinning. He had found an old book on the side of the road, and though it was musty and barely held together, it was still the most wonderful thing I had ever seen. Nightfall. The target takes 10% more damage for 30 initiative units. Chapter 1, page 3. Age of Shattering, 1217. He wait until we are asleep, my brother and I, before letting his emotion show. However, on the night I lay awake, I hear his muffled sobs and Mama's soothing voice. The following day I would always do my best to make him smile, for I knew, deep down, that I was the reason for his tears. Which increased the critical chance of a skill by 5%. Chapter 1, page 4. Age of Shattering, 1217. A group of villagers were approaching our fields. Something was wrong. It was clear by the way they walked, by how they spoke amongst themselves. There she is, one of them shouted, pointing in my direction. The bleeding Vidican. Never had I seen such fury in someone's eyes, and so I fled as quickly as I could, their screams ringing in my ear all the while. Savior. Add an additional attack dealing 100 base damage. This attack can't crit. Chapter 1, page 5. Age of Shattering, 1217. Hold your fist like this, okay? My older brother was hunched before me, and despite the blood dripping from his nose, he smiled. Then you punch them. Next time, alright, you punch them as hard as you can, and then you run away. Run right back home. Squeezing his hand as tightly as I could, I nod, and continue wiping the tears from my eyes. So something's happening. This is obviously a child, and something's happening to her because the villagers are trying to do something bad, obviously, to her and her family. Impasse. Increase the critical chance of skill by 5%. Chapter 1, page 6. Age of Shattering, 1218. What do you mean? Why can't we play together anymore? Despite looking at the ground, I could feel my friend's eyes on me. I don't care what everyone says. They're just jealous because you're smart. Shrugging murkily, I tried explaining once more, but her persistence proved stronger than mine. Visitor. Add an additional attack dealing 50 base damage. This attack can't crit. Chapter 1, page 7. Age of Shattering, 1218. What sort of people do you take us for? You are a stranger to us, and yet you have the damn nerve to think we will give you our daughter? Get out of my sight. Get off my property. Never show your face around me ever again, or I might very well do something we'd both regret. My father's anger did not unnerve our guest. He simply thanked my parents for their hospitality and bid them farewell. So someone's trying to take her away from her parents, and the villagers are going crazy as well. Inferno. The target acts 5 initiative units later. Chapter 1, page 8. Age of Shattering, 1218. Mama's word rang in my ears as I fled, fire lapping at my heels. She had told me to keep on running until my legs couldn't carry me no further, and to never look back. I disobeyed, glancing behind my shoulder. The attackers were in pursuit, flames and screams serving as their grim backdrop. And in that moment, I thought I would die of pure fear. So something's happening to her and her family. She's running away, obviously, and I don't think her family's made it. The target acts 20 initiative units later. Chapter 1, page 9, Age of Shadowing 1218. It had been 3 days since my village was set ablaze. 3 days spent praying it was a bad dream, and 3 nights crying because it wasn't. On the 4th day, I was discovered by a stranger, and though I was terrified at first, my dread faded as he spoke ever so gently with a voice strangely familiar. By the campfire that night, curled in the large cloak of my new companion, sleep finally came. Departure. Increase the damage of a skill by 55. Chapter 1, page 10, Age of Shadowing 1218. Now about, he began, pausing for a moment while a small smile crept onto his face. The guide, I echoed, equal parts confusion and curiosity. The fallen leaves crunched beneath our feet, a light breeze whipping the broken fragments into air. Yes, the guide. The words came out with a laugh, paired with a wink. I like to think I push people into the right direction. Discovery. Grant the skill target 50 armor that lasts for 30 initiative units. Chapter 1, page 11, Age of Shadowing. Let me see. This time I was demanded, not a question, still confusing. Let me see. This time I was demanded, not a question, still refusing. I clenched my injured hand close to my chest, my throat dry from the rising anxiety in my gut. The guide's patience worn out, and once he decised my wrist and inspected, an overwhelming silence fell over us. I'm taking you to Nostra. His words were heavy with thought, like he was still going through a million things at once. Best to hide in plain sight, swallow thickly. I could do little but nod, catching a glimpse of my palm, already recovered. Wake. Increase a skill's critical chance by 10%. Chapter 1, page 12. Age of Shattering, 1219. Age of Shattering, 1219. Today I woke in a cold sweat, having lived another memory that wasn't my own. The nothingness formed in the pit of my stomach, all-encompassing, drawing in all of my thoughts, until there is nothing but prickling numbness. While the other Nostra disciples slept, I wept as silently as I could. The whisper in my head were back once more, clawing at my skull. Rush. Increase the damage of a skill by 50. Chapter 1, page 13. Age of Shattering, 1219. The wind whips at my face as I dashed around the large oak tree for the 13th time, collapsing in a breathless heap on the ground. Warm laughter filled the air, and from beneath the tree the guide speaks with a bemused tilt to his voice. What happened, little magpie? Yesterday you ran around it 5 more times. If I am to convince those Nostra heads to send you along to their esteemed swordsman, you ought be able to do a few laps. Now, up you get. My lungs burning, I get up again, but not before throwing a fistful of grass in his direction. Okay, you can see the child has become a woman here with a sword, obviously. I'll just be back in a second.